Let's talk about causality. Causality is a big one. If you can understand this, then to me, that's a significant step in becoming enlightened. So, what is causality? Causality is cause and effect. Cause and effect is so for every cause there is an effect, and then that effect is then a cause to the next effect, and then so on. So there are three types of causes. There's three aspects to it. There's linear causality, there's environmental or circumstantial causality, and then there's infinite causality. And these all tie together. It's just different ways of looking at the same thing. Linear causality, everyone understands. It's the billiard ball metaphor. For example, I speak, my voice goes into the microphone, that goes through the internet, it comes out of your speakers, and goes into your ears. That's causality, linear causality. Environmental causality describes the environment for needed for things. So, for example, the air, the way that the air is, it acts as a vehicle for my voice. Without it, my voice wouldn't make it to the microphone. And so you can extrapolate this into everything if you think about it. So, for example, you could think, what does the air here have something to do with an event on another planet? Well, if you go back in time enough, you'll see that it all is linked at some point. The nature of the air here is directly tied to the Earth, which is tied to the Sun, which is tied to the solar system, which is tied to the galaxy, which is tied to the universe. And then throughout the universe, there are causal events that eventually link together to end up being what everything else is. And so even if you believe in the multiverse theory, there's still one universe in which all of causality is interlinked. As for infinite causality, you can take this inwards as well. The nature of the air is the way it is because of the atomic structure of it, which is due to the molecules that make up the atoms, and then, if I'm saying that right, and then it goes down to more and more parts and pieces of the structure of that thing, which is, again, causally related to everything else. And then you might have heard in quantum physics how things seem to come into existence out of nowhere, like electrons. Well, we know that causality still applies because we see the same thing over and over. If there were no causes, then it would truly be a random event, right? Well, how can it be random if we see the same electrons popping in and out of existence? So there's something going on there causally. What we're observing is the limits of our consciousness. Consciousness is inherently limited. There's a wall that we get to when we are using our consciousness, and we can't see or perceive beyond that. But we know causality is still in play because we can logically deduce that that is the case. So that is causality. Have any questions, critique? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.